We're ready, Ma. So you said you wanted to start.
From where we left
So,
Cartagena.
so your dad was on a sabbatical. You all went on the sabbatical with your dad, and now we were in Cartagena to visit your brother,
Yeah.
who's a doctor, who's in medical school. Okay, so go ahead and tell us next. What happened?
Okay. Yeah, I told the part about how we got to Cartagena.
Right, it's very scary.
Okay, but now I'm telling the part how we left Cartagena.
Okay.
My mother refused to say she would not go on the boat again from Cartagena to Colón. So my father had to look and then he remembered that my brother had a girlfriend whose father was a shopper for the ships.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked him about could he get a ship for us to go back to Colón. So he said, but he didn't work with the passenger ships, he just worked with the cargo ships.
Mm-hmm.
So he would ask, and the captain, sure, he would take us to Colón, but we would have to sleep on the deck. And we said, okay, the deck was wide and beautiful. And because they had no cabin for passengers.
Mm-hmm.
And so but he had to go inside the ship to go to the restroom. And I swear to goodness, I've never seen such beautiful area. It was shiny and bright and polished.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but anyway, we were on they made like a mattress and cover for us on the ship for us. And there was one man, he was, what you call a magician.
Oh.
And he wanted me, I was 40 years old, and tell my father he wanted me, he would buy me from my father.
Okay.
And then I could join his show.
Oh my goodness.
And my part would be, he cut me in half.
Yeah, he was going to cut you in half?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And my father told me nothing to he answered in my son, he said. But I think it was out of a joke.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we went through the Culebra Cut because the canal hadn't finished yet. And then we got to Colón. No, I don't remember that part. I don't remember the docking. I don't remember getting up. I don't remember going to Colón. But I know we end up in Colón. And we had to find some way to get back to Bluefield because my father said my mother tried to take Cartagena back with her.
She had so much stuff.
Huh?
She had so much stuff.
Yeah, she bought so much things. And my sister, met my sister Carmen, my elder sister, in Cologne. And so they asked her what happened to preaching. So she had preaching got a job in Belize. And so she went to New York. I met all my brothers, but then she decided that it was too cold, she couldn't take a cold. So she took a boat back to Colón, and she had a contract with the army to make army shirts, but she didn't have a sewing machine. My father said, your mother have a brand new sewing machine. I'm sure she'll let you have it, because you have one at home.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, I didn't know. You're saying that Carmen went to New York to visit the brothers,
She thought she would stay in New York, but she didn't like
She
it.
didn't like it because it was
Yeah.
too cold. So I never knew that. So she did go to New York, but then
Oh, you comments in New York.
so she came back and you said she got that contract to make shirts with the army.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
She got not in Cologne.
In Cologne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was the army or the navy?
I think it was the army.
Okay. All right.
I think, but no, she got the armed force.
The armed forces. Yes.
And my father, my mother gave her the machine anyway.
Oh, she gave her sewing machine.
Yeah, good. But she didn't need it.
Right.
But anyway, so now my father had to get all they took all that things off the ship and put it in a storage until he could find some way for him to get it
To Bluefields.
to Bluefields. So he looked around and eventually he chartered a boat. And he took the boat and went to the storage place in Panama City. And they were charging my father's storage. So he made a priest. I'm a poor priest. Oh, you expect me to have, if you're a poor priest, I got so much stuff.
They said, if you're such a poor priest, how do you have so much stuff?
Yeah. He says, I don't know how we get people have to get with us. We don't know. So anyway, they said, oh, go ahead, get the thing, and they put on the boat, and we left Cologne. Well, they had enough food for 4 days. They said it would take us 4 days from Cologne to Bluefields. And so they bought just enough food for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And when we stayed up, we took off on the same, on a little boat, just like a big sea, little boat. Okay. So when we took off, while we were on the 4th day, which was right, they saw land, and the captain said, "Oh my God, I missed my I didn't mean to get here today. I want to get to a key because I got some contraband in the car." So my father said, "But I chartered this boat. I am paying, and you have contraband?" And so he says, "Yeah, my Papa said, well, you can, brother, I will report you to the authorities." So he says, no, you don't have to pay me the rest of the
What kind of contraband, do you know?
No, I probably food, probably utensils, and I don't know what kind of contraband because I didn't see. Well, you see, they have here a place in the boat where I guess they hide them. So they had to tack, and when they tack, they miss the keys. They would tack all the way down to Costa Rica. So when they got down there, the captain said, "We have to tack again because we missed the key." So it took them another day. So that was 5 days. The food was gone.
You mean you ate it all up? You all ate it all up?
Yeah, but they had the food for the crew and and us.
You all.
So after my father told us that we had to go below and we couldn't be on the deck anymore because we were hungry and weak, and he thought we would get started up overboard or something, so best to stay down there. And he told them to get the salt water, boil it to make, and they had some flour. I had flour, but no baking powder, no salt. And they made dumplings with the, and that's when the reason was in the base in the hall, because he said if we eat that dumpling and happen to fall aboard, we gonna sink
Straight to the bottom. Okay.
to
Yeah.
the bottom, right? So eventually we got to the bluff, but instead of the boat going straight, it went sideways and hit a sandbar.
Oh no.
And the sandbar had waves as big as I don't know what, beating that poor boat. It will not last 2 or 3 hours, okay? Eventually, the lighthouse on the bluff saw the boat was in trouble, so they sent down some launch boat and they towed it off the launch bar. That was the end there. No, I don't remember nothing else. All I remember is that we went to visit my father sent us to a doctor and to a dentist.
After this trip.
After a trip, yeah. That's the end of
Okay.
that
And
story.
then the review, real quick. The bluff. That was where the ships would come. That's where you'd have to go. You couldn't go any further into Bluefields. You had to go to the bluff, right?
That's right. They went for,
And then you took a small
no,
boat.
I don't know whether the boat, but the same boat went to Corn Island with the things or not.
Okay, that's right. Because you were at Corn Island, not Bluefields.
So I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing was, what food did you eat on the boat? I'm just curious.
What we
What
eat?
food? You said
What kind of food?
you don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm surprised.
And then we had cornflakes
Cornflakes?
in the morning, yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. So your mother kind of saved your life, because if you would have went back the same way you went there, you all might not have lasted, huh?
Oh,
I said your mother kind of saved your life, because if you would have went back the same way that you that you came, you might not have lasted, because that was a really rough boat ride going to Cartagena.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's something when we went to South Carolina, we had to go over a mountain,
Yeah.
and people passing us like we were standing still, and all was a rope.
Separating you from the edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind
And
of
so I told my husband, I said, I settle in South Carolina and not going back
You're not
over
going.
that mountain.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
didn't go back over the mountain.
Okay, so that's the end of that story. That's the sabbatical
Yeah.
story. So what would you like to go to next? Which
Well, I don't know.
I'll give you a couple of options.
Um,
You could go. I know you talked about Carmen getting that contract to make shirts, and I
Yeah.
know eventually you helped her with that.
When I was 18 or 19, I went back to Cologne. My father gave me the $20 gold piece and a letter, and told me if I want to go to any school, give that to the dean and so forth. But Carmen talked me into working with her, because she had a lot of sewing to do.
A lot of what? Sewing to
Sewing,
do.
yeah, making, and so she would have me to cut the buttonholes. And one day I was daydreaming, I cut the boom out of the way. She hit me in my head, because that means she has to take a whole panel out and put a new panel in and make new buttonholes.
Yeah.
And so my cousin, Tan said, you have to be stay with your sister the way she's so cold and mean. And because someone was 6 feet tall. And they were three inches heel shoes. Until they met this guy, and he was short, and such that to give me the shoes, I was 5'8", and with a 3-inch, and that told me to throw them shoes away, not to wear them.
That's Hortense?
I don't know, we used to call her Tense.
Tense. But who is she? How is she
She
related to
was
you?
her cousin, first cousin.
On your mother's side?
Uh-huh.
So who was her mother?
Aunt Severine.
Oh, the Aunt Severine's daughter. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But I thought you told me the story about you kind of taking Carmen's shoes and without permission, and her being very upset with you.
No. She gave me them high heel shoes. No, Carmen was upset with me for messing up the
Yeah, the buttonhole. Yeah.
the buttonhole
Yeah.
for the army. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go into life at that point for you, or do you want to skip over and go into when you came to America?
Okay, when I came to America, oh Lord. I left Panama and we went to Guatemala. No, the plane was a propeller plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it was built, the plane was really unlike, on one side had birds where it had 1, 2, 4. Bird you got sleep, and on this other side, seats. Well, the men, it was about 4 or 5 men, they ran in, they knew what the plane was because they were, I guess, captain or something of the plane, and they ran in plane and took all the birds, okay?
They took all the beds, you said?
All the beds, yeah.
Okay.
And so we left Panama City, and the first stop was Guatemala. And we went to Guatemala, and we had dinner there, and then we went back to the hotel and stayed there until about 9 o'clock at night. Then we left Guatemala. I ended up in Mexico, and about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then after we left Mexico, then we ended in New Orleans. Okay, one of the guys came to me and said, your husband told me to look after you. If I were you, I am going to take a plane to New York, and you are going to New York. Why don't you, I will pay your fare, and you come on and go to New York. I said to him, no, I cannot do that. He gave me instructions for me to take the train, and he gave me a paper for me to give the person at the station so that they will call and tell my mother-in-law when I'll be in New York.
Right.
So, no, I have to, the biggest mistake I made in my life. Anyway, we went on the limousine took us, I don't know where those 3 men sit in the back of the limousine, and I sat in the front with the chauffeur. And while we were waiting on the light, I saw the big bus rolled, and this black girl got up our seat and gave this white man. And I said, look at that! This black girl had to get up and give this big fat white man her seat. And you could have heard a pin drop. They never opened their mouth anymore until we got to the train station. the chauffeur got out, took my suitcase, and called the red cap. And that was all. And he said goodbye, and they left.
Okay, let me stop for a second. That was 1940.
1945,
That was
yeah.
1940. And that was a military plane you came on?
Yeah,
That
I
was
think it was.
Yeah, military plane. Okay.
Yeah, because they were going to another airport. Okay, so I got hungry and they were in the station, the cafeteria on the counter. So there was the counter one here and across was another, and inside there was the waitress and people serve you. So I sat at the counter and nobody was there but me alone. And I asked, and she came, asked me what I wanted. I told her I wanted a sandwich. I think I have a sandwich and a cup of tea. And while she was making the sandwich, a white girl came on the other side and she left. I went on that outside and I said to her, Miss, you didn't finish making my sandwich. She said, I'll be with you in a minute. I'll be with you in a minute. And she served those people, and then a nurse had come, and so I got up. I got up and I asked the vet cap, I said, where is a good place for me to eat? And he said, oh, you go right around there. Oh, God. I was 5 months pregnant with Sylvia.
That's right. That's the part you didn't mention. You were pregnant.
Oh, Lord. And I went in that dump. It was a dump. And they exactly what they had. Them lima beans with them big, big knuckle. I look at that thing and I was going to bring my guts up. So I just left what they paid and went ahead on the street, and there was a vendor with some fruit. And I just walked in the fruit and she gave me a bag. And I picked up what I wanted, paid, and went back, ate the fruit. Then I remember I have to send a telegram. Then I looked and there was the telegraph, not the counter place, not counter, where the girl was behind the cage like, and I walked up there to her, and that red cap almost had our face. Mate! And I looked at him and I said, what the heck is wrong with him? And the girl said to me, can I help you? I said, yes, that I can send a telegram to New York. And so I gave her the paper with her man wrote. And that man, that red cap carried on. The girl, which she said nothing. I didn't send it. Then, eventually, after I paid her, I went and sat down. I was sick. I was so sick. What God? Then, this guy, Sarah came up and said to me, you don't look good. I said, I don't feel good. I said, I'm hungry. I went to the counter to get some food, but they wouldn't serve me. Oh, he says, yeah, that's the way it is down here.
That's the Jim Crow style. Yeah.
No, he said Jim Crow.
I'm translating it for people who might be listening. Yeah.
So he said, okay, I'll get some ice cream. So he went and got the ice cream cone, and I ate that. But I still was, that made me sicker than ever. So he said to me, but you better lay a head on my shoulder and try to go sleep. So I did, and I did. Eventually, the train came, and when the train came, I was working. He said, no, 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 you got with the other white people get on the train. Then you get. I said, Lord, do I did I take the plane to New York?
Oh, hold on, let me get this.
And then I had to wait there. I eventually all the white people got on their train. Then we got into one car, packed to the brim with people. I mean, and when you look at the car next to the car with it was empty. And it had a lounging chair with dolly and the next arm and the back. And I said to him, why can't we sit in there? He said, you sit in there and pull you and throw you off the train. So there were people standing, black people standing on the toilet. Oh God, I couldn't even go in the toilet or that. They haven't cleaned that down toilet. It looked like 2 weeks. It was full.
Oh.
Good God, and make me like I almost stroked my whole belly.
Yes.
And eventually, the guy we got together, we sat, and it was so hot in the car, he took off his shirt. And then eventually somebody had said the food is serving. And he said to me, come on, let's go have something to eat. I know you're very hungry. And let's go have something to eat. So we left. And we walked through those what they call rooms?
The cars.
The car. To the car, 1, 2, the big dining room, empty. And we are jammed up tight. And the third car was the restaurant. And the beautiful setting. And all these white people sitting around. And I go, let's see. He grabbed me and said, no, come on, let's go. And the waiter came and took us in the back. And it was like a booth. And just a booth. And he was in. And then they saw he didn't have any shirt. All he had on was his undershirt.
Right.
Oh, you can't. You have to go back and put on your shirt because we're not going to serve you here. I said, what the heck care what he wears? Look at that out in front there, all the empty seats, empty beds, and we were jammed to him back. The guy told me, shut up. Shut up. I said, okay, you're right. I go, and he left. And I ordered, he took my order. Lord, the food was awful. And eventually he came back, and he ordered some food, and we left. And then he said to me, you try to sleep. And then I couldn't go to the bathroom. I don't know what I did. I can't remember, but I know I couldn't go to the bathroom. And so eventually, we got those two. And he said to me, he had to get off at Macon, Georgia. So he asked a lady, he said, look, would you please take care of this woman, because this young girl, because she's pregnant and She's not used to this country. So, um, told what to do and what not. So he said to me, okay, you are going to Pennsylvania, New York Station. You're going to Penn Station, and it's in New York. No, the train is going to stop at a place called Newark. Don't get off at Newark. Get off at New York. So he left. I didn't take his address, I didn't take nothing. And he left, and they kept on going. They want, oh, look at the beautiful field there. Look at it. I said, you look at it. I was dying. I was absolutely dying. So eventually, we got to New York, Penn Station. And when I got out, there was the escalator, and I looked at that thing, I said, no, I'm not going to get on that. I don't know what it is. And so I walked up
All the steps.
the steps.
Yeah.
And when I walked up, I went to the counter where the luggage were. The guy took one look at me and called, Red Cap, come here. Take this woman and find a taxi and find out where she got to go. I don't want her dropping dead in the street. So with that, the taxi driver came, got in the taxi and gave him the address because the hammer had everything written down. Who I wouldn't remember one.
Right.
So he gave him the address. I gave him the address, and he drove me. And do you know something? I asked that guy how many hours. He said nothing.
Oh, wow.
From Penn Station to 152nd Street, and he just, because they thought I was dying.
Right, right.
They all thought I was dying.
Well, okay, let me stop there before you go any further. When you were back in New Orleans, you kept talking about how the Red Cap kept calling it after you and making a big fuss, but you never explained why. What was going on?
Because I was at the cop.
You didn't explain why.
Oh, I was at the terrace window.
Right.
And I shouldn't be there. I should be at another window because that was the white field section.
Okay.
That's all. That is what I come to conclusion of. But she didn't say anything to me.
Right.
She just asked me what I wanted.
Right.
And tell her. That's all.
Right.
So when I got to, he took me up and he rang the doorbell and said, nobody seemed to be home. And then he said, I tell you what, you stay here, I'll go look for the super. So he looked for the superintendent and he took me to his house. He was right there. Mm-hmm. And I went into, and the wife said, oh, Miss Ali went to the Penn Station to look for you. So Geneva came by, and she called Geneva took me up, and she said, Lord, how much you look bad. And today, by the time I look so bad, I guess I did. And she took me up, and she said, you don't have any clothes, but don't worry. I run you a tub of water, I want you to take a bath. I said, I thank you, I need to take a bath. Because they didn't have any shower.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I'm used to shower. I'm not used to getting
Who's
in a
Geneva?
tub.
Who's Geneva?
You
said
Geneva was a rumor.
Oh, she was a roommate.
Old room at my mother-in-law's house.
Mother-in-law is Grandma Ali. Okay, yeah.
And I took a bath, And then she gave me, I don't know what she gave me to eat, and she told me to go ahead and sleep. And I think I slept that whole day and night, and I didn't wake till next morning. Yeah, and then my mother-in-law, we couldn't find you because they looking, see, my hair was long. And I went to the hairdresser and cut it short.
Okay.
And my husband had taken pictures with a long hair, and they're looking for somebody with long hair. And they couldn't find me, so eventually they came home and said she don't know how she can tell Herman that they can't find me. But when they found me in the bed, sound asleep, and they didn't bother me.
And Grandma lived in Harlem, right? That was in Harlem. You're in Harlem now.
Carmen?
Harlem. You're in Harlem.
Oh, Harlem,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's and the thing that got me was everything was on 105th Street. And I said, this is New York. What the heck is so good about this? At 125th Street. Because they didn't go no further than 120 until Herman came, and then he took me downtown, and then I said, oh, now I know why. It went to Macy's, went to 42nd Street, remember Hollywood?
Yeah, we have the pictures, yeah.
But that's all they did was go as far as 125th Street.
And so grandmother owned that apartment?
Of course not. She rented. They rent out.
And then she had other people living in there too?
Well, you see what happened was when the war came, people came from all over to New York because New York had the factories and whatnot. And they came looking for jobs. So people who had apartment, had rooms, would rent out their rooms.
Okay.
So she went room to Geneva, and yeah, that is one experience could never live down. But then I thought I have. I mean, it was, I don't understand how the black people put up with it. I couldn't have. I had to go on the streets. But in Harlem, you didn't have no way out. When I went to the hospital, I was treated just like anybody else. I wasn't discriminated against. I was in the room.
This is in the Navy Yard, though. This is
Navy.
The Navy Hospital. Okay.
The Navy Hospital in Brooklyn. They gave me the one thing that they gave me a private room. And when I got ready to leave, you who was still there wanted to know how the heck did I get a chance? How did I get able to get a private room? And they got built in the ward. And they wanted a private room, and they were going to have to pull, what you call it, but see who get the private room, my private room.
Yeah, pull lots.
You after have the child, you lay down in the bed for 9 days. The one that you get up do nothing.
Okay, we'll back up a little bit. So you're pregnant with Sylvia, and you ended up having her at the Brooklyn Navy Yard Hospital. So talk about that. Talk about how, you said Daddy had to come home, right, on emergency leave?
Oh, yeah. My mother-in-law, when she was a captain, she was an evil woman and an alcoholic. And so she decided that I could, oh, the first thing he did was my mother wrote to me and told me where my brothers were in New York. And the other one that was in New York was that she knew of all the rest of Timothy, Byron, and Milton had gone to war. Um, Timothy and Stanley was in New York. So she knew Stanley's address. And she sent me Stanley's address, and my mother decided to take me over one day. And when we walked in, he was busy. He had a shop, and he was busy.
A tailor shop, right? A tailor shop?
Tailor shop, yeah. So when he finished with the customer, he walked over to us and said, what can I do for you ladies? And my mother-in-law said, are you Stanley Hawkins? He said, yeah, but this is Sister Enid. Gary, how you doing? I am fine, how are you? Oh, well, my house is right down there. Go, I'll call my wife and y'all go down there. But when we went down and got to his wife, she met her coming out, taking the kids to the park. Well, I am bringing my kids to the park. You have to come back another day.
That was Aunt Florence, right?
Ooh, my mother could have killed them. Said, what kind of family you got? They never see. I said, I don't know him. When he left, I was about 5 or 6 years old, so I don't know him. So, but that night, Timothy came up. Yeah, I think he called Timothy and told him that I was there, and Timothy came and ring the doorbell, and oh my God, he had Ruby carrying over me like
Ruby, him and his wife Ruby.
yeah. And they was the house was very nice. So when her boyfriend, which was the elderly man, used to take me to the hospital, the clinic, neighborhood hospital clinic,
This is Grandma's
every
boyfriend.
month to the doctor. And so but then she got herself a younger man, and she put him out, the old man out. And then she tried to accuse me of, oh good Lord, I hear you talk about that stupid drug.
Having an affair with her young boyfriend?
Yeah.
And he was probably as young as Daddy, huh?
You were 2 years older than father.
Okay.
You see, and you see what happened? He had a zoot suit. You remember?
I heard about the zoot suit, yeah.
Yeah, he had a zoot, and then he had another suit, and she gave her boyfriend him a zoot suit. And I said to her, I said, you have the business giving your son. And then she accused me about well, anyway, Eula told her that she had first she said, I'm not, you have your brother Timothy, you go stay with brother Timothy. And I said, no, I'm not going to stay with my brother Timothy. He don't have a 1 bedroom. I got his apartment, 1 bedroom. I'm not going to stay there.
So she was trying to put you out?
Huh?
Grandma Ollie was trying to put you out?
Yeah, until I had the baby. And so then she said, okay, Eula, that's another drunk.
That's her sister.
Yeah. Said that she had a friend in Brooklyn, and that he had an extra room, and if I paid $10 a week, I could stay in that room, and he would see that I get to the hospital. So with that, I wrote the father and told him just what was happening. And another thing, she wouldn't come home at night. She'd go with Eula and get drunk, I guess, and stay there all night and not come home until about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and leave me alone in the house. So, Herman said that after I wrote him that letter, he took it and showed it to his CEO. And he said, why don't you go home and take care of your wife and come back when she has the baby and everything is okay. And so with that, so one morning about 7 o'clock the doorbell rang and I went and there was Herman at the door. And so she came home at 8 and she was shocked when she saw Herman.
Yeah.
Were you there? He said, my wife wrote me that you want to put her out. I don't want to put her out. I don't know who is going to take her to the hospital. That's why you stayed with Eula all night, every night? Because you didn't know who was going to take her to the hospital. Right, you didn't know who was going to. But I'm here to take my wife to the hospital and stay with her until she's okay. So with that, shoot, oh my God. So when we got ready to go, but the 18th to the hospital, he wouldn't tell her.
He didn't tell her.
We wouldn't tell her we were going to hospital. So we left and went to the hospital and had the baby.
December 18th, 1945.
5, yeah. Yeah, that's right. 1895. Friday. Okay, what else you want to know?
Okay, and that's when you were saying when you went to the hospital, you ended up getting a private room.
Yeah. There are 2 private rooms. One I got and one somebody else got. And I left mine and everybody wanted to know what made me so special. But I figured they didn't want to put me in the ward with all them white women.
Oh, got it. And so you said you had to stay in the hospital for 9 days.
That's when you have baby. 9 days and you lay on your bed, on your back. You lay there, and then after 9 days, after 9 days you dangle.
You sit up and dangle your feet, huh?
Dangle, yeah. And then 10 days you go home.
You go. So you and Dad, he came and got you, and you all went back to Grandma's.
Yeah. And then he told me that the Christmas was, I had that.
Well, you were actually in the hospital for Christmas. Though.
Yes, and they were at Eula's because she was going to have Christmas dinner. And he says, about 4 or 5 o'clock, she had been put the turkey in the oven, and there anybody come in and do it. She was just as drunk as the Lord. And so they went out and got some hot dog, and that's what they had. And then about 4 o'clock in the morning, they had dinner. I said, you crazy, why would you stay? Because you were drinking just as hard as they were, don't you? No, I wasn't drinking. I was just watching them.
So that was Eula, Grandma, was Aunt Mary there?
Mary, yeah.
And then?
Probably Cleo.
Cleo.
Yeah.
And not Vita?
Yeah.
And Vita?
But definitely Vita.
Yeah, okay. And this was in, where did Eula live? Where did Eula live? What were those?
Dunbar.
That was in the Dunbar. Yeah, which was really very upscale.
Upscale.
Yeah.
You know what? She lived there so long that they gave her the apartment for free.
Wow. And how did she get that apartment? Do you know?
Ah,
How did she get that apartment?
oh, she used to run around with men who had money.
Like gangsters?
Yeah. And one of them, I think, rent the apartment and the rest. That's it. My mom said she's a throw money in the air.
She had so much money.
She had to, the guy would give her so much money.
Yeah, they were, all the sisters, they were so beautiful sisters. They were beautiful
Yeah.
women.
Mm.
So what happened with, you come back to the apartment, grandma's apartment, with the baby, and did Dad stay very long, or did he have to immediately go
No,
back?
he stayed there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
He stayed 2 weeks. Then we stayed there for a while. Then she got pregnant with Herman.
You got pregnant with Herman.
Then,
Oh, you mean when he got out of the military, he came back?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't get out there 2 years later.
Oh, so you were there. So Sylvia, you were there with 2 years with Sylvia?
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
I was there. And then he came back, and then I got pregnant with Herman. And Eula told her, you better put them out because they're gonna run you. They're gonna run you. Have all them babies. You gonna have to get out the apartment. So she decided she would sell Herman, sublet to Herman. So Herman did, and Herman got a refrigerator. That's another thing. I come to New York. I was in Panama Colors, and I had a freezer, a refrigerator, and I come in an ice box.
They had an ice box. What is that? Just like a box with a piece of ice in it?
Yeah, a box with a bit of ice and a basin underneath. But catch the water that you have to make sure you turn the water off every you put the water out. I said to them, I couldn't believe it. And in the dirty kitchen, I know one little bathroom, one little tiny bathroom with one little tiny tub. I said, I didn't live that in Panama. Why you guys come to New York, big time New York and living like this? Oh well, that's life for you.
Okay, we can stop there, and next time maybe you can talk a little bit about when you and Dad moved out, what life was like, and or you could talk about Panama, because Panama, there's a lot of interesting with Silver City and Gold City. Is that what it was in Panama? The two different cities there, the two different ways. It was racism in Panama. Remember the Silver City?
Oh, shit. Oh,
You know what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Panama Color, Silver City.
Yeah, yeah, and the gold. So we
That's Panama, that, and the gold girls, golden girls?
the gold. I think it was the Gold City too.
No, but they were the nightclub.
Okay, well we can. You think about it. But next time we can maybe start talking a bit about that, depending on if you want to talk about that. So, all right. Well, thanks. That was good.